Welcome to the Flat 4 Offroad Podcast. I'm your host, Chase.
And I'm Austin.
And today we'll be talking about a few different things, but this is going to be more of a regular event here at Flat 4 Offroad. We're starting our own podcast here.
Yes.
We really enjoyed the Canada 4x4 podcast.
You did that right this time.
I did that right. I always say 4x4 Canada podcast. We really enjoyed that. And as we continue to build the community here in Alberta and we continue to build it on my channel, we thought this is a great way to reach people. So today is kind of the introduction of what we're going to be doing in the next first season. I think we're going to probably do like 5 to 10 episodes on the first season. And then we'll maybe do a little updating and then do a second season, third season, and however long we do this. Obviously, for the first one, it's just me and Austin. But as we continue along this journey, we're going to have guests from my videos. We're going to have guests from our adventures. We're going to have guests from locally in Alberta and kind of go from there and see how it comes out. But one thing is this is more of a informal podcast, more casual, more conversation like. So this isn't going to be explicitly Flat 4 off-roading. We do a lot of other stuff besides off-roading, like camping, biking. We were just talking about biking on all that stuff. So some of our topics during the podcast might kind of reflect that, and you'll see that kind of reflected in the titles or whatever when we bring in different guests, because we might have guests that want to talk about biking more, or today's conversation might go biking because we've been talking about it all day. So yeah, maybe let's just start off with what is Flat 4 Off-Road, because Austin here is the founder. I joined in 2021, but Austin is the founder. So Austin, what is Flat 4 Off-Road?
Okay. Well, I decided after having owned a couple crossovers and such that they were quite fun to off-road. So I decided that it would be nice to sort of bring all those parts together that existed elsewhere in the world and bring them here to the local markets to open that sort of avenue to people who wanted to try something different, off-road a crossover or different vehicle, let's just say. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of how it started.
What vehicle did you have when you started it?
2004? I don't even remember.
Is it a 4 or 5? I thought it might have been
remember.
5.
Maybe it was 5.
Look on our site. It's
a Forester.
There. Yeah.
It was silver.
It was silver. It was in the videos back in the day when we did when you dragged me down Transalta.
Yes.
When you're like, you can do this, and I was like, can I? Surprisingly, I was honestly when we did that river crossing, I was surprised. In the Forester, I was like, huh. Because you guys should probably go watch that if you want to know what we're talking about. But we actually, one of the first times I met Austin was through Instagram, and Austin's like, hey, you want to go on a trail run on this thing called Transalta? I didn't know what Transalta was at the time. I
slid into his DMs.
Yeah, he slid, exactly. And I was like, oh, well, might as well. But I was like, let's bring, you guys know Adrian. Just in case I get murdered or something, Adrian will be there with his cross trek. But we were like, let's go kind of do Transalta. I didn't know what it was. So I was like, oh, let's go for a little adventure. And Austin's like, oh, I know what your car's capable of. I have one. I was still running the BBSs from the STI and some X-Ice tires. So I had less ground clearance than the stock Forester. And my struts had 300,000. So it was quite rough. But it's totally surprised me on what they're capable of doing. And like, I think that's true for a lot of my videos. Like we've done like the local stuff here in McLean Creek. We've done some stuff in Central BC, and I'm like, whoa, the Forester just keeps on going. I think we're getting to the point where I'm finding the limit of what I can do with those modifications, like the coilovers and stuff. I'm losing, once I lose that wheel, it just spins the other one. So it's kind of an issue there. But yeah, so you said you had the XT back in the day. You don't have that anymore.
Back in the day, that wasn't that long ago.
Back in the day, every day's a long day now.
Yes.
But you don't have the XT anymore because it did Subaru things.
Yeah, during that thing that happened last year up until, or started in 2020.
2020, yeah. No, 2021.
What?
Because it was the year I graduated. No, it was 2020.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
I want to. Yeah, I couldn't get parts for it.
Yeah, so
it blew up on the highway.
I think I seen it in Calgary actually recently again.
Yeah, it was for sale for a lot of money.
They're going for a stupid amount of money anyways. But so
I did not pay that much for it.
No, you didn't. So with that being said, then what are you currently driving? We've seen one of your vehicles, the Jeep, right? Well, you have multiple Jeeps, but what do you currently have? Because I know you have more than just that sitting around here.
My 04 Grand Cherokee Laredo.
Yes.
A 21 Jeep Gladiator Rubicon, and a 2013 Ford Fiesta hatchback. That's for saving money on gas because the other two, one of them is way worse than the other. The old Grand Cherokee is not as good as the Gladiator. Gladiator is pretty good on gas. And the Fiesta doesn't use any gas.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about the sedan because it's for sale.
Okay. Well, hey, you did a lot of work. I remember I came here a couple times and you're working on it. So hopefully you just want to get that out of here. Is the Fiesta the rallycross / autocross car now? Yeah.
Daily driver too.
Daily driver. It's just everything. It does
gas
everything.
Is too expensive.
Yeah, I mean, what if you don't need to drive something that's
5 liters per 100? That's what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
And
but
it's lowered and it rides like a tractor.
Wait, why?
Because it's lowered and it rides like a tractor.
we won't explore that anymore. Okay, sounds good. But are you going to be doing the local or like some of the autocross around here? Like we have some stuff in Red Deer and Airdrie and stuff.
Yeah, that was kind of to have something to do that because you can't do that in a Grand Cherokee.
You can't?
No. Well, I bet you could with an SRT or a Trackhawk.
They have some weird dimension rules. I don't know if it passes it.
I read somewhere it's kind of a Red Deer you could for sure.
Yeah, Red Deer's chill.
Shout
out to Red Deer.
I read it was like more like what if you're running all seasons and they're like whatever, sure, who cares? But if you're running like our compounds, which would be ridiculous, then they're like no.
Yeah, 12 wide car compounds. Those are gonna grip up.
That'd be sick.
Austin has some great ideas. Every couple of weeks, Austin's
they're
like,
terrible.
You should buy this car, and I'm like, oh, so many projects. But yeah, so I guess we'll be seeing that when we do, because obviously, as you guys have saw, I've taken the STI out of the garage after 2 years. Finally got to drive that around, and I'll be doing autocross more this year. We'll also be seeing hopefully Adrian with his 06 STI. Adrian, I know you're watching this. You better bring the STI to autocross. No more excuses. Bring it to autocross. And then obviously David with the Miata. So we'll be doing some autocross and kind of seeing all these cars on top of the stuff we already do with like off-roading and overlanding. Okay, so with that being said, then, do you have any other memorable cars with some of your experiences? Because as we saw, you've gone through a few amount of cars in these last couple of years, but have you gone through more cars?
I've had a lot of cars.
Yeah.
Which ones?
What are them? Do you have any memorable ones? Because I think
my 2001 Mustang. I wanted a Mustang for a while, and I got one, and it was a lot of fun. I just never drove it in the last couple of years, so I sold it. It was pretty fun.
You autocross that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was big picture wasn't that fast. And then I had a bunch of 4Runners and a Ford Explorer that I called Dora the Explorer, and I had a Dora the Explorer sticker on it. It was sweet.
Of course,
I think it's still alive too.
Really?
Because those things don't die.
Yeah.
It's way too slow to kill itself. At 160 horsepower.
For that big thing?
From a 4-liter V6. Yeah.
That's rough.
It was crap.
My Subaru stock makes almost that.
Yes.
Right now it does not, but stock it did.
Yes. I will argue, though, that engine still probably makes that, but it is insufficient for how much that vehicle weighs.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It was slow. But I never really did anything to it.
No, you just kind of
slow.
You just kind of used it and then kind of sold it.
Yeah, it was sweet. I got it off some old people that traded it in a dealership for like $1,000.
Yeah,
had like 120,000 K on it for a 1998. It was dope.
Nice.
And I ruined it in McLean. I dented the floor on a trail. I don't know how I did that, but
yeah,
nice body on frame too.
Well, okay. So those are the cars
But it was sick. I love that thing. It was slow.
So you've
can't
gone
actually like tell you how slow it was. It was.
Is it as slow as a 5-speed cross track?
No, it's slower. A little bit.
Did you have to like roll?
No, it had no power. Like it made torque, but then it would downshift and then rev out, and then it just didn't do anything. So you only had like a little window of like power.
We could have the world's slowest drag race. Get one of those in a 5-speed cross track.
Yeah. Cross track's pretty bad. Yeah, cross track's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's they already, as you guys seen in some of
Just kidding. I love cross tracks. They're the best.
Cross tracks are
the 5-speed one's fast. if you haven't driven a car before.
Yes, this is true. As you guys seen in his
Or you've driven an Explorer.
Yes.
With a 4-liter.
If you've driven that specific car, everything's faster though.
Yes.
But as you guys seen in some of like the videos with Adrian in his Crosstrek,
it's so fast.
No, it's not.
Oh, sorry.
No, but yes. The Crosstrek with the CVT, it's a little bit faster than the 5-speed because I can just sit in that power band, but it still just doesn't have the power that it needs to go up hills, as we've seen in Adrian's.
CVTs aren't that bad, just so everybody knows. Let's make that clear. They were bad. They're better now.
They are better, yes.
They make a lot of sense if you look at the technical aspects of it. It keeps the engine exactly where it makes power.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's just people don't, some people aren't a fan of the whole sitting there. I know my sister has...
drive weird.
Yeah. My sister has a 2016 Crosstrek and it doesn't really have the shift. It just sits at the RPM. She's like, the first month of driving it through the mountains, she's like, what is it doing?
Do not put an exhaust on them.
Oh, I have never even thought about that. Automatics are pretty bad. Like you can tell when someone's got an exhaust on automatic.
Yeah, but they move.
Yeah.
Rev range. CVTs don't. Can confirm. Some kids I knew cut the muffler off like Dodge Caliber and then brought it back the next day and we're like, no.
Yeah, I can see that. It'd just be like a cat or something, like a heavy machinery.
Like, yeah. And then it doesn't change.
Yeah, okay. Duly noted. I will not do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't plan, honestly. I'm used to shit boxes.
Silence. That's the key.
No.
Make your car as quiet as
No,
possible.
I like loud cars. As you guys can tell with the STI, it is not a quiet car. My neighbors can also tell that, especially when I cold started. It had a rough cold start when I started it. After 2 years, holy, that thing was not happy. It was like, and I was like, this doesn't sound right. And then eventually it caught at like $3,000. But just Subaru things.
I had a bunch of crap in the exhaust, intake, everything, dust, junk.
It's pretty
oil.
clean because we put a new turbo on it because the original
It was
turbo.
all sitting there though.
Yeah, I start it every couple months. Because if I don't, it's gonna do something because it's gonna do Subaru stuff. Hey, we love Subarus. I love Subarus, but you can't deny that Subaru sometimes
everything breaks the same.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, like if you beat
not
on
the same, everything breaks.
Everything breaks. If you beat on a car hard enough, it's gonna break.
Except Ladas, they never break.
Yes.
According to
is that why you sent me that Lada rally car?
Because it's sweet.
Yeah, I kind of want one.
They're dope.
Yeah, I want to build a rally car.
You can't change perfection. That's what that car is.
Is it perfection?
Yes.
I don't know about that.
It's a square. It's exactly how kids draw cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I took all the best parts from Western cars and put it into it.
It would be cool to have some that would be something I would be interested in doing as a Lada project. Let me know if you want me to do a Lada project, guys. See, this is the issue. Austin sends me cars. I go, that's not a.
But I don't buy them. I make other people do it.
Yeah.
I don't.
You bought some projects.
Yeah, and they were fun.
So yeah, definitely for sure. As I said, as the channel gets bigger, we'll definitely have more projects. But like the Forester and the STI, the main projects right now, just because funds. But speaking of funds and things you can spend your money on, as you guys know, Flat 4 Off-Road, we do a lot of customization and helping people build vehicles for their off-road adventures and overlanding adventures and anything to really support their ventures. We primarily focus on crossovers, Subarus, Hondas, that kind of stuff where that market's kind of not as well supported right now. But it is a huge, huge market. Look down in the States, you see Mountain Rue and stuff. Like shout out to some of those bigger groups. They're definitely helping support that. And we're actually looking to support that more here in Canada. But things you can spend your money on, as I've talked about. So at Flat 4 Off-Road, as you guys already know, we have these sick die cuts. It's going to be kind of hard to see with the lighting, but there's a black one too. Austin didn't give me the black. It's fine. But we have
ask too much.
The orange, teal, and the white.
And then imagine it's in black too.
Yeah, imagine that. We got that. And then we have these awesome little round ones. I believe these are $5 or $6 free shipping on our site. Canadian, we're in Canada. And then same with these. We got our little round guys. These are really awesome. Got them on my water bottle here too. These actually last. They've taken like a stupid amount of abuse. I put these through the dishwasher.
Solid.
They're solid. But I think these are like 3 or 4. Just go check our site out. Go check our site out if you're doing that. And then these are new. these are actually, we're going to be for an expo we were going to. Unfortunately, the expo got canceled and we were unable to launch them at the expo. So these are going to be going on our sites pretty soon. But as you can see, they're holographic.
And that made Pokemon cards cooler. So that now is cooler than a
100%.
non-holographic one.
Yeah, they're going to be like
It's like a Charizard will be worth thousands of dollars in the future.
Exactly.
Don't quote me on that.
Super rare. Super rare. But yeah, so we do have all these. And since we're on the topic about it, we might as well talk about some of the
Pokemon cards? Okay, never mind.
Did you have Pokemon cards when you were
I
little?
still have them.
You still have them? I
Yeah,
still have some
I
too.
got them all price things. Like, I haven't sent them in yet, but yeah, I
You
have
have,
like $2,000-$3,000 in fucking cards.
I have a container.
It's in a floppy disk drive container.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I still have mine somewhere.
You should get them price. I don't even remember what the website's called.
I never really got anything like special. It was like
You would be surprised.
Really?
Yes, those energy cards. You remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah, that you just like stuck in your bicycle spokes and stuff. Yeah, those are worth good money
Oh shit.
because everyone ruined them.
I should see if I have them somewhere.
And then I was stupid and drew on a bunch of them.
Oh.
And there was one that was worth a good chunk of change and I ruined it.
How bad does that feel?
I don't know, I felt pretty stupid. But,
Did you draw on it when you were a kid or older?
Obviously, I did that now. No, I did it as a kid.
Okay, I was gonna be like, you're just doodling. You're like, Pokemon card.
It was like one of the plant ones with a mouth on it. I can't remember what it was called.
Honestly, I don't remember. I
remember that because I looked at it and I was like, wow, you were stupid. Way to go. That was worth money.
You're like, damn it, you. When I was kind of at like the end of the Pokemon card era when I was in like elementary and middle school, because it kind of started dying out when I was in middle school. So I didn't really get a lot. Like, as I said, I have a small
You didn't
tub.
get the original ones, did
No.
you? The dope ones.
No.
Lame.
I have some friends that have some like very, as you said, like expensive cards, like $50 cards. And I'm like, that's brutal. But anyways, we were talking about Pokemon cards because why not? Talking about more merch, we've actually got some really cool things that I've been working on for the last, I don't know how long, couple months at this point.
Something like that.
But we've been talking to our community and really trying to focus on like bringing stuff the community wants. So one of the big things is we want to support local communities, local companies, and specifically because we're Canadian, see if we can support Canadian
Or North American.
or North American. As I was gonna mention, it's hard to support Canadian all the time. We can't get a lot of stuff manufactured up here, so sometimes we do have to go to the States. So actually, these are all made by, if you guys know, David. He does all our vinyl cutting stuff. So shout out to David. He's been really helpful in this process of getting everything cut. These are made literally like maybe half an hour from our office, which is awesome. And then these are made in the States, but as I said, North American made. We're really trying. We really, for our merch, like that has to be a North American made, where we're really trying to get Canadian made, but it's sometimes hard.
Got to support the States and Mexico too, right?
Yeah.
I think we could be a global powerhouse if the more we do that or strive to do that.
Yeah,
anyways.
exactly. So as I was saying, it's nice to get some stuff manufactured. So it's going to be hard for you guys to see. As I said, just go check out the
It's
site.
not a sticker.
It's not a sticker. It's an actual patch. So these are made about an hour north of us in Showdown Merch in Sylvan Lake. They do really nice work with textiles, so like clothing, which we might be talking about in a second here. But they also did some patches for us. So these are flat for off-road. This is what we're going to be calling the classic line. This is kind of like our not our entry level, but this is like our staple, our classic orange color with our flat 4 off-road logo. And then, so we have these are patches. These will be sold as loose. So if you want to sew them on your clothes, if you want to, one of the things I'm doing is I've actually taken some Velcro, some like hook and loop, put it on the back, and then I can Velcro it wherever I want.
You could even staple it on your skin too if you wanted.
I mean, yes. For legal reasons, that was a joke. Please don't. But anyways, with that being said, these patches were actually made for specifically a different reason. We wanted to get those patches done because we wanted to do hats. So as
They're
I
for
said,
your head.
they are, or yeah, they're for your head. I was trying to figure out what I could say.
Or you could also staple it to your skin.
They wouldn't fly off at that point.
No,
that's true.
To your head, like through the top. This one's got little vents so you could get the staples in there.
So what we have here is we have two different styles with our I'm gonna call that our I'm gonna for the now
The patch.
the patch, the classic.
The classic.
The classic patch. But essentially what we have is we got the trucker style hat with the mesh, as Austin was saying, in more of a navy. What it was.
Olive drab.
Thank you. That color. So we have that. And these are the patches actually sewn on here. So they're made, again, locally.
The hat's made in America.
The hat is made in America.
I picked them up there.
He
It
did.
was fun.
He did.
Shout out to the guys in the States. Your Walmart's way cooler.
Okay.
Way cooler.
Save that for a second because I'm curious. But then we also have camp hats. So the 5-panel camp hats. These are actually made in Canada. So this hat is 100% made in Canada. This was one of the really hard things was, as I said, trying to get stuff made in North America. This is literally the only company that will make hats in Canada. There's one company that we can get like large volumes. Like they work with Microsoft. Yeah.
See, it's in French too.
It's in French and English.
Because it has to be.
Yeah. Welcome to Canada. But essentially, we can't do the numbers of like Microsoft or something. So this is the only company that will make us Canadian hats because they can do low numbers. And then in the States, we're able to access a few more suppliers. But yeah, so this is kind of the merch we're looking at right now for Flat 4 Off-Road. They're not, as of recording this podcast, they're not on the site yet. That is my job to do in the next couple of days. But my job is also to go ahead and...
Unless it's the future, then they're on there now. Go look.
Yeah. But the links will be in the comments section. If you're watching this on audio platform without the video, they will be on flat4offroad.ca and you can go find them there. But we have one more thing. We have, as I was saying, shirts. Again, made in Canada, 100%.
You don't have to staple them to you.
No, these are made in Canada though. These are made by Showdown Merch, the screen printing. So we did screen printing, so they'll last a long time. And then these are Canadian made shirts once again. So again, 100% made in Canada. We're going to be rocking the classic patch look for the first line, but this is only the start. We're going to be building up a lot more stuff as we work with some of our community partners, communities, and we're going to be building some stuff along those lines. So make sure you're following along Flat 4 Off-Road on Instagram, as well as I have my automotive Instagram page, Schrader Labs. I am really far behind. I'm catching up. Don't worry. We'll have more venture stuff posted there, but I will be catching up. But yeah, that is kind of a merch plug. Go support us. Go support the company. By supporting Flat 4 Off-Road, you're supporting the channel. You're supporting everything we do. And you're most importantly supporting the community up here in Alberta.
This banner smells like campfire so bad. It's so stinky. It's weird.
So that if you guys were at the AOA I don't know.
Alberta Outdoor
Adventure Expo. I'm really bad at memorizing stuff. I'm sorry if any companies I mess up, but I'm really bad at doing that. That's why Austin always corrects me on that. on the Canada 4x4 podcast. Nope. Yeah. Sorry, Wes. But anyways, what I was just saying is that banner behind you, not the Ironman. Hey, if you're looking for Ironman stuff in Canada, reach out to us. But the Flat 4 Off-Road one, that was at the expo and it smells like smoke. Hey.
Yes. And you broke it.
And I broke it. HR department isn't a huge fan of
and accounting.
And accounting.
Except the accounting part that we pay an accountant.
Yeah.
Because I'm not an accountant.
But yeah, that thing smells like smoke because it was
gross.
It was really smoky.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember if it was as smoky as when I went to Shoe Shop because that was really bad too. When I went to Shoe Shop,
I think it was closer probably.
Yeah. It was
in Jasper.
I don't know. Shoe Shop was like literally up on the arm. Anyways, it was pretty much a smoky. Go watch the video. Hey, pretty much everything we talk about here is in a video somewhere.
Except stapling things to yourself. I'm gonna stop talking
exactly.
about that now. I don't think it's funny anymore.
We're gonna get flagged or something now
for stapling.
I don't know. As much as Austin loves the camera in front of him, I try to put him in front of the camera and put him on the spot a lot. So he's in a lot of the videos, but yeah, the AOE Expo video, we have a couple videos there actually, because I did my Flat 4 announcement video, I did my full-time YouTube and Flat 4 video during that, as well as I did obviously kind of the behind the scenes there. So you can check that out. But speaking of fires right now, it's kind of crazy what's happening in Alberta. So we're recording this on May 11th. So we've had a week of OVH fan.
Yeah, it's also been like 20 degrees and usually it's snowing still.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we've literally had snow in May long. and
every
August long
year ever.
and July long.
If you just move to Alberta, guess what? That's the way it is.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been really smoky. So unfortunately, we haven't done a lot of trail stuff. We were gonna go out last weekend, and then they put that ban out literally the day I was trying to plan it. So that wasn't happening. So hopefully we'll see some rain. It doesn't look like it. It looks like more 27 degrees. So I don't know when you guys are gonna get the next adventure video. Honestly, it might be a little while before we are able to get out. That being said, though,
Or we could camp in our backyards.
I got all my backpacking stuff. No, Banff National Park isn't, but you like
I
vehicles.
don't like the traffic there.
You also don't like the hiking part
No,
involved.
I like that. I just don't like going up and coming down the same day. If you want a backcountry camp, like no tents, nothing, I'm game. Let's do it.
Okay, I have tents.
No,
Me and Kurt has tents.
No tents.
What, do you build your shelter?
No, sleep on the ground.
You and Adrian's brother would be good friends. He's done.
Because we kind of learned this thing in the same place.
This is true. Yes, this is true. Both did military. That is true. Yeah, good point. Because would you tarp it or just
You can. If you got like a bivvy bag or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if I've done
There's probably about the same amount of stuff to pack as like those folding tents, maybe slightly less. And Kurt's backpacking tent is a joke.
It's very heavy, isn't it?
Well, and it 100% relies on pegs. So
Oh no! Oh no!
if that's the same one.
I don't know if he might go. Kurt, show up on the podcast. We want to talk backpacking with you. But essentially, yeah, it's definitely like, I don't know when we'll get out, do some wheeling, but we'll see. Hopefully soon, but we don't know. We'll see. Yeah, but the backpacking thing. So I think I mentioned this in the I'm gonna mess up 4x4 for Canada.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Podcast is I've done a fair amount like before the channel, even before the STI, like middle school. I'm talking middle school and like early high school. Is we did like a lot of is it bushcraft? Wow, I can't think of it.
Fieldcraft.
Bushcraft, fieldcraft, yeah.
It's all the same
Where
thing.
we had to like build shelters, right? And you build them. The reason I'm not a fan of sleeping with no walls beside me is we were out in Kananaskis country once, and this was I might even told this story before, but I was out in Kananaskis country. We had a shelter, and I'm always determined to be on the sides because I don't want to be in the middle of people. So I'm like, I'm gonna be on the side. So I put a bunch of sticks on my side. So I'm like, I'm protected. Really, I'm not that protected from anything. But we were there camping one night, and this was during the winter trip, but we didn't have enough snow to build quincees. So we had to like build our shelter, whatever. And we're camping and we hear wolves in the distance. We had like actual guides. So we're like, okay, cool. And they're like, yeah, you should probably go back to your tent after they came back on their walk. We're like, huh? No, nothing. They just want to be safe, right? So we're back in the tent, whatever. And you can hear the pack move through our lean-to area. I'm like, I kind of like this stick wall beside me.
If they were going to do something, we would have. They already knew you were there a long time
ago.
yeah,
exactly. But it was just, that like artificial like safety. Yeah, that was definitely the thing. So
like rooftop tents, it's the same thing. It's just because you're on the roof doesn't mean anything.
No.
It's pretty easy to walk up the hood of a car.
And I mean, like, people always joke about like the bear taco thing, right? The rooftop tent is like, we can talk about like practicing safe like protocol or safe like when you're in the backcountry. Don't bring food into your tent. It's just not a great idea. Like, put it in your vehicle, bear can if you're backpacking, that kind of stuff. Because yeah, if something wants in, even like you've seen some videos where people like the bears have gotten like in Alaska and they've got in a vehicle and they've destroyed the inside of a vehicle. Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, it's just like the best way is just practice like safe backcountry protocol. Is like keep your food away, lock it up, and kind of so forth, because it's not gonna it's gonna give you that, like, as I said, that false sense.
Yep.
Because I very much like when I solo camp, I'm like, oh, I hear noises, and then I just gotta tell myself, it's like, just you're doing everything hopefully right. You should be fine. Hopefully. But yeah, I guess we're talking about more about kind of the hopefully we'll get on some trip sooner than later, but I know I actually haven't said this, so this is a first for you guys, is I'm going to be driving to Vancouver very soon here with my Forester, and I'm actually going to be hitting up Vancouver Island kind of stuff. We'll probably do a video getting there, a video on Vancouver Island, maybe a video coming back. Let me know if you guys want to see that. Probably going to be doing the same route there and back. And then I actually have a couple other trips planned. I'm not going to announce them yet. So again, follow the channel, follow socials. But with that being said, do you have any, I know we have a couple trips planned in South Central BC, or one trip planned South Central BC maybe. Do you have any other trips you're trying to plan or think about going on in the summer, or anything you're looking forward to in the summer?
More mountain biking?
More mountain biking, yes. Yes, we were just talking about it. So yeah, for sure. How many bikes do you have?
Me personally, or
Yes.
in this household?
Oh, let's talk in this household.
I've got 2 dirt jump bikes.
Yeah.
One's mine, one's Lee's.
Yeah.
I've got 3 fat bikes. 2
Yeah.
of them are mine. One of them's Lee's. 2 full suspension bikes. And then there's a commuter bike.
Commuter bike?
That's Lee's. It's not mine.
Okay, I was going to be
It's
like...
on a trainer.
Okay. That makes sense for sure. No cardio. I have the, so talking about bikes, how many I have 3. I have my Rocky Mountain Flatline Pro.
Shopping cart.
Yes, it's in our biking thing. It's called the shopping cart.
It's a shopping cart.
It's a little noisy.
It's clanky and
It's clanky.
It's old.
It's old school. It's a 2012 or 20.
It's not old school. It's just old.
It's old. Hey, it's not as old as I seen.
My Kona.
This is true. Your dirt jump bike, but it's not as old as I seen a old Demo 8, I think, or something.
Those are
Like 2004.
like boat anchors.
Yeah, it weighed like 60 some kilograms or whatever. I was like, huh, cool. My bike doesn't weigh quite that much, but it does sound like a shopping tank or shopping cart. It also does take the abuse I throw at it pretty well. I've cased some jumps pretty hard before and survived. Austin knows exactly which one I'm talking about, where I fell off the pedals. But yeah, it's taken the abuse, but I have that bike. If you guys aren't following my personal, more adventure Instagram, at Chase Schrader, that's got all like the kind of more adventure-y stuff, kind of like hiking or biking or whatever. And I'm sure we'll talk about it more as we get guests on and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of where I have those videos of like taking the Flatline Pro down. We've done all the places around here, right? We've done like 5 or 6. I don't know how many times we get out biking, but you want to do more, which is I'm always good to go biking. You have a trail bike, which is a lot easier to go uphill than my downhill bike.
Yes.
I push my bike up. He pedals his bike up. Most
The fat
times.
bike's easier to climb though.
Yeah, you're
It
saying
climbs
that.
way better.
That I don't. I've seen it though, and I still don't believe it. I don't know why. It just
You should
seems.
try it. It's nuts. It's stupid.
Well, do you ride the fat bike in the summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, on
It's
trails.
way more fun.
Are you gonna take it to some of the trails we do?
Well, I did Prospector.
Oh,
on
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
That was stupid.
I remember
It
you
was
saying
horrendous. It was so bumpy. It hurt.
that
It was fun though, because this guy was complaining about not having a full suspension bike, and I rode everything with no suspension.
zero suspension. Okay, yeah, that makes sense for sure.
Nothing corners better and nothing climbs better. Don't know why they climb so well, but the new gear sets are money.
Interesting. Yeah, we should do like Canmore Nordic Center. You should because that would be a good place to do that.
The Banff ones are sick too.
Yeah,
That
I
we're
haven't-
talking about.
We were literally talking about hitting up Banff soon because we can't go off-roading right now. But yeah, for sure. So I've got that bike, and then I've got my blue dirt jumper again. It's on my personal Instagram if you want to see it. Which then we do we have an indoor bike park here, which is good in the winter. And then we also have one actually really close locally to me in Chestermere, which is lots of fun. That thing's been around forever, but they keep on improving it. So this year, they had to bring hand bomb buckets of water because the city wouldn't turn on the hoses. Yeah, that's why it's open early. I was really surprised. One day I was like, "Hey guys, it's open," and I was like, "What are we talking about?" It was May 8th before that. So
Weird.
yeah, so there's that bike, and then I have my mid-70s Japanese touring bike, it's a full-on street bike, like race touring bike.
Does it have the lever shifter?
Yeah, it's got the levels. The
cable
suicide
thing?
shifters.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are fun. Especially when you're doing 50 down and you go to shift and because it doesn't click.
You just have to
Just guess.
adjust it into
So
it,
as you're going
yeah.
down and you skip gears, but it's so much fun. Getting tires for that thing's hard.
Yup.
I learned that the tire I have on the rear of that bike is from the 70s.
Probably.
It was the original tire. It's like an IRC Super, runs 100 psi.
Well, if it still holds air, who cares?
I know I'm putting new tubes in tires because the front two tires cracking.
Hmm.
And I don't want to be going along and just have the wheel disappear. And the other one, it's got Presta valves. What's your thoughts on Presta valves?
They're junk.
Oh, okay. I love Presta valves.
Trash.
I love Presta
Don't work.
because they have that extra layer. But I
Of
say
what?
that.
The valve coming out easier?
I say that, but then I also am. The next sentence I'm going to say is my Presto valve blew out when I was.
Yeah,
that's why I'm
they
replacing.
always do that. They're so junk.
I bent the thing because I didn't have the proper pump, so I was like using a hand pump.
Even if you have the thread on hand pumps, like all it does is when you unthread it, it'll pull the fucking core out with it.
It wasn't the core. It was the like rod. It has like the little thing you
Yeah,
thread on.
tore on the tube probably.
Yeah, it just blew out. I'm like, ah. And I was like, well, I need new tubes and new tires anyways for this bike. So, well,
I don't like them.
you don't like Press.
I don't like them.
Adrian,
They work great on cars, don't they? Schrader valves.
Yeah, this is true.
They've worked great for a long time.
Adrian, come on this podcast. Please help me. I think he likes Presto valves too. So it'd be two. I don't know. But yeah, talking about mountain biking here.
You're entitled to your own opinion, but your opinion is wrong. So
Okay.
just so you know.
Just so I know. But yeah, talking about mountain biking, is there any places specifically you're looking at going this summer for mountain biking? Besides like the local trails here?
I want to do Revelstoke again. That one was fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely want to.
Depends. I don't really want to get like lung cancer from inhaling smoke, and I feel like that's the way this
Summer is already
year is
looking like.
panning out. If Alberta's this bad, BC's is going to be as bad.
You gotta go west. Gotta go Whistler
or east.
What's biking out east?
Saskatchewan. You'd be surprised. There's some interesting stuff there.
In the coolies.
Yeah, or even if, like northern Saskatchewan's pretty dope.
I've never in my life thought about northern Saskatchewan.
There's some pretty crazy 4x4ing you can do there.
Really?
I'm not going to say anymore though.
No.
You have to figure that out yourself. Get a map.
No, 100%. That's one of the skills I think that when we kind of talk about people.
GPS works great until it doesn't anymore.
Well, yeah, and GPS doesn't work off road. Like there is the Garmin Overlander, but I haven't tried it, so I can't say a lot here. But what works best is literally, as you said, breaking out some satellite maps, looking at what's private, public, and going from there. Because if you follow a GPS, you're gonna end up like someone driving off a cliff
or into the ocean, like some people. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah,
but,
Hawaii.
Obviously, the ocean's not suitable to drive on. But
we're thinking the same thing. Yeah. The same article. But yeah, just like breaking out those maps, because especially like watch my shoe shop video. I had a map that was not up to date. I look at the recent satellite maps. Like you can look like Fresh Sat or something and go, that's a trail. I can do that. And you look at your like road map and you're like, oh, this looks like a trail. You can check those too. Mm-hmm. When I was in BC, check out the video. I think it's Lost on Logging Roads or something. I wanted to go around the mountain. There was no trail in sight. And it's just like, where's this trail? And I was using the backcountry road maps, which is usually pretty good. Mm-hmm. I seem like that's how we find a lot of stuff.
They just don't mark what's what.
Yeah, this was marked a full road, but I think what happened is it looks like they had a new logging area open up, and they kind of pushed everything to the old road and just kind of deactivated it without marking it. But yeah, Makes sense. Break out those maps. That's like a critical skill, especially
learn how to use a compass.
We were just playing with the compass, and
I don't think it works.
we have some questions about that, but yeah, no, as you said, like break out a compass, because even like if you need to know like general directions, if you lose like electronics or something.
Does your vehicle have the onboard compass?
No.
Oof, no. Mine does.
I don't know how well this compass works on this, but I guess I'll try it out. We were talking about doing some other like more like time distance rally, right? We're talking how that would work.
Yeah.
If you do like you don't get GPS, you get like maps or something. Like that'd be interesting to see if we do more of an overland thing. Let us know if you want to see something like that, where it's more of like a challenge, where we're like, okay, we need to get here. We're from here. We get paper maps or something. That'd be kind of cool to see, because that'd be a test our like ability to actually navigate. Because this is something that's in like mountaineering and hiking too. Is when as I got into it, you can't just climb up a mountain, because you end up like the people in Banff where they're like, I followed a goat trail, and you're like, search and rescue.
Stay on the trails you're supposed to stay on.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah. Biking, hiking, whatever, because you end up in some dumb situations pretty quickly, for sure. Yeah, but so biking, you're saying Revy, I definitely want to hit Revy. It's going to be death on my bike. But
get a new one. I rode it on I think I got the bike from Sport Check. It was a decent bike, to be clear. It was a good bike. But I rode it on my 29er hardtail I had, and it wasn't the best, but still super fun.
Yeah.
It's easier to climb up.
Interesting. Yeah, no, I
A bike that can climb.
That's a plan. That's a plan. So I think we've talked about a couple times like the bikes I want to get. Well, obviously Santa Cruz V10. I'm a tech person. I don't like big jumps. So V10 is a nice like downhill bike. As much as Austin's like, no, you don't need a full downhill bike anymore. I like my downhill bikes. Let me know in the comments below. Do you like, if you're a biker, downhill bikes? We still exist in some places.
Yeah, but they're all going to have bigger wheels on it. They're not going to be the same.
No.
What yours does, the new one will not do. They do not corner the same.
You can get I'm going to get a mullet for sure. 29 and then 27 in the back.
You should try Lee's.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah, but anyways.
It's weird. I don't really like it.
You know? But yeah, do something like that. And then, yeah, but my next bike is definitely a more trail
BMX bike.
No.
I rode a BMX bike down COP once.
You rode a BMX bike at the indoor bike place.
Yeah, it was scary. I'm not very good at it.
But yeah, it's for sure. No, I've just rode bigger bikes my whole life. I don't think I could get used to a BMX bike.
Yeah, and so you can get a new bike and then it'll make your big bike feel tiny.
Yeah, that's true. For sure. But yeah, no, definitely trail bike is in the thing. I don't know. I might go when I'm in Vancouver. Again, this is all maybe planned. Is if I go to Vancouver, is try hit up Whistler and rent a bike. Because
Good call, because it destroys bikes.
Yeah, and they rent V10s. So I'd love to ride a V10 and see what...
ride something else, not a V10, and see if you like it more.
Because I like V10s.
Okay, whatever.
I like tech bikes. But yeah, and if I'm doing Whistler, that's kind of what I want.
Do they rent Trek sessions?
They might.
You should. That
I don't
thing's
know.
a missile, apparently.
I've heard that.
On 29s.
I've heard that. I don't know. I rode that site, and things that are missiles scare me.
Yeah, it's sick. Mine's so fast. It's dumb.
Oh, the sites are insane. When we were, what trail did...
Zhongyi or Gene Guy, depending on your... wherever you're from.
Yeah. That was scary on the site. That was honestly scary on the site.
Just let it go straight. And was it a 27 or 29?
I think it was a 29 small frame.
So sick.
Because it was fast.
So sick.
Oh yeah, it was 29 because I was like, I really like the rollover on a 29. Like being able to...
Because turning kind of sucks,
Yeah.
but like you can just power through whatever you want.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, see, as I said, we're going to talk about whatever we're going to talk about on this. As I said, we're talking about bikes literally 45 minutes ago. So yeah, that was bikes. But I guess with that being said about bikes, we could talk more about off-roading, overlanding and stuff. But as I said, this is kind of like the first season of our podcast. So we're going to kind of just do this as a kind of an intro. As I said, we're going to have guests. So that kind of conversation, we're going to have to talk more about like new Subarus. We're going to talk about maybe other things in Subarus, obviously. Talk about pretty much anything and everything that we like. And if there's stuff that I know a lot of you guys follow me on some of the personal accounts, if there's something you want me and Austin to talk about and bring on a guest or whatever, let us know and we can definitely do that. Because as I said, it's more of a casual conversation with regards to how Flat 4 is going with all our new merch. Kind of like talking about new products we have. Like we're right now in the midst of like figuring out some distribution stuff. So hopefully we'll have some new announcements sooner than later. But other than that, we don't have a ton with regards to like the behind the scenes of Flat 4 Off-Road yet. But we will as we can kind of move forwards with this.
This hat looks ridiculous backwards, doesn't it?
It's not a backwards hat. No.
It is now. It is now.
But with that being said, I guess one thing that is kind of nice is if you're in Canada and you are trying to reach out to Flat 4 Off-Road, we do have an official phone line now. So it goes to voicemail if it's outside of business hours, which is really nice. So if you're like off work and you're like, hey, I know you're not working, we won't go like hang up on you. It'll go right to voicemail so we can call you back during work hours. But you can also text that number if you're looking for an inquiry or something, which is really nice because I know some people, I don't
not
like...
me.
No, you don't like...
I don't like calling people either. Though.
Yeah. I'm not a huge... I don't know why. It's just easier to write it in text because sometimes I like get people to call me when I'm like busy or something or like we're recording the podcast. I'm sure that's gonna happen. We're gonna go call and be like, hello, I'm during the podcast or whatever. But yeah, if you are kind of looking for that kind of stuff, especially as I said, we service mostly Canada, Western Canada. Alberta is our primary target audience here. But if you're looking for stuff, reach out to us. We can definitely get you set up, particularly with like crossover stuff. We do, as we've seen, we do service, or we do work with people with other vehicles, like more like trucks and Jeeps and stuff. We do have that kind of supply chain, because obviously to get Subaru stuff or to get crossover stuff, we have to have those supply chains, because companies make the same stuff, or the same companies make the same stuff. So we do have that kind of stuff. So yeah, reach out to us and we can definitely help you out with kind of building it. And as I said, make sure you're following along. We have a lot of really cool stuff in the works with regards to the community here, working with some of the local community or other community supporters like Scott Subaru,
businesses and locals.
Yeah. So definitely make sure you're following locals. We'll actually have some locals on here as we kind of do some other stuff. There's some other really cool stuff, as I said, coming with Flat 4. I'm not going to announce it right now because I'm still working on it. But we have some stuff coming very, very soon. Like, we'll probably announce it in the next podcast. Austin doesn't know what I'm talking about right now, but yeah, we'll probably announce it in the next podcast. And we'll probably be doing podcasts probably every month. Kind of similar schedule to our blog post, just because it's only me and Austin right now. We are extremely busy. Like, every day we're dealing with inquiries, dealing with orders. And as you guys know, dealing with shipping to Canada is one of the hardest things. Installations. Yeah, we're doing installations and all that stuff. So it is busy. So we're just kind of doing stuff as we can. So podcast once a month. As I said, make sure you're following along. If you're watching the audio podcast, there's a video podcast on my YouTube channel, Chase Schrader. And then if you're watching the YouTube, you can go ahead and listen to the podcast, and on all your favorite podcast platforms will have it on there. So if you're on the drive, if you're going overland and you want to listen to us ramble on about bikes or cars or the new Subaru Crosstrek that's coming out.
Or the new Honda Pilot.
Or the new Honda Pilot.
That's already out though.
Yeah, that's pretty cool though.
It's sweet.
Yeah.
I saw one. The blue's dope.
Save that for next podcast, because we're getting up to the 1 hour mark. We're going to try to keep these around 1 hour a piece, just so that they're not super long. Maybe with our guests, we'll run a little bit longer depending on what we talk about and how it goes. But yeah, that is kind of our plan for the podcast. So I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us talk about whatever we talked about. I don't even remember. I had what we wanted to talk about here, and we did most of it. We kind of just went off the tracks a little bit, but yeah, we'll probably talk about more of it as we go along. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. And anything else for the listeners, Austin?
Hit that subscribe like button. Smash it. That's what it was. Smash the subscribe button.
I've edited this out of everything in all my videos.
If I say it enough times, you can't though.
Yeah.
Smash that subscribe
And when we're
button.
doing a podcast like this, I can't just cut this out when I'm like, hey, anything you want to say, Austin, just emptiness, and then we go to the outro. No, that's not going to work. But yeah, okay. So do what he says, please. That'd be great. But anyway.
You subscribe on the other stuff too. Subscribe to things. Not to our things, not other things. Or you can if you want. I don't care. It's up to you.
HR's digging themselves a hole. But anyways, that is going to be it for today's podcast. So I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and we'll see you in about a month. So see you later.